All right, as I am patiently waiting for my brass riv that I just ordered, I'm going to go through a quick overview and or review of the Giant Mouse ACE Atelier. I have two versions. I have the original titanium as well as the carbon fiber version. And before I forget, Shank Sharpeners Union. If you're not already part of us, part of the group on Facebook, go check them out. All right, let's do it. All right, here it is, the titanium Giant Mouse ACE Atelier. This one is the titanium version that comes in at 4.2 ounces. Then we have the carbon fiber version with the blue anodized lynch clip, comes in at 3.4. Obviously with the titanium, you'll notice I have the customized Damascus backspacer and clip, makes it a bit heavier. But both of these are liner locks on bearings. And just because I know that we are all in love with the machine work or the milling that Giant Mouse offers, I'm going to use these as a comparison. We have the GM5 and the GMP2. You have different variations. I love all of those patterns. Can't get enough of them. I really do enjoy any time that Giant Mouse does any type of machining or milling on one of their knives, whether it's production or the GM line. I really enjoy all of it. But to give you, I guess, a little bit of a more accurate comparison, if you guys are familiar with the Vero Axon Mini, it's a close comparison. I mean, a good comparison. I'll give you a good size, an understanding of the size. But just to go over the specs really quickly, I'll bring the carbon fiber back in to give you guys a comparison. But these both come in at 6.8 inches. So the handles are 4 inches a piece. Blade length is 2.8 with a thickness of 0.12. I'll start with the titanium, but they both do offer an LMAX blade steel. Satin finishes on both, which I love. I think Giant Mouse does a great job with their finish. But you can see there, ACE LMAX. Super comfortable. Let me get this one out of the way for the time being. They are super comfortable. The ergonomics, I know that there have been some complaints for whatever reason. A number of people on the Shank Sharpeners Union, when we were discussing this, first of all, everyone was incredibly excited when we heard that there was going to be a quote-unquote Grand Mini. Everyone was excited. But when they were sent out, there were a few people, or more than a few people, who ended up selling them because they didn't feel like the ergonomics were right for them. I don't understand that, but everyone else has a different hand size. They grip things differently. I guess I could see if you're trying to grip it from back here, you can't get all 4 fingers wrapped on it. There's a little bit of space, but it is, I mean, you knew it was going to be a smaller knife. Plus, if I'm being honest, I never hold a knife like this, maybe once in a while, but almost every single time I'm choking up, whether there's a full finger choil or not. I'm gonna choke up on the knife. I'm gonna use the jimping, and which is also why I love that Jesper always likes to include the jimping a little bit further up the spine. Really allows for you to have more control of the knife. But let's also admit the fact that as people who collect knives and utilize knives and love EDC gear, anytime we get a knife, even though we're consciously saying, well, this is what this knife is for, this is what it's used for, whether it's a gentleman's knife, a smaller EDC, a fixed blade, whatever it is, you're always going to want to try to use it for everything and then wonder why it doesn't feel right in certain situations. This isn't made for batoning. It's not made for, you know, to withstand what a larger fixed blade could stand, not even what a sort of what we would call a tank or a beast of a folder would withstand. That being said, I am telling you, I've utilized this more so than the carbon fiber version, but I've used this for everything, and I've yet to have any sort of failures or anything that I felt was noteworthy. It really has felt comfortable. I really like the design. It does feel good in my hand. And just to give you a close-up version of the milling, it really is a smooth finish that I personally love, which is also why I ended up getting the Damascus backspacer. It's really hard to tell up close, but it really does offer that pop of color that I really enjoy. I mean, this, honest to God, this will go down as one of the knives where I would be happy if I had just this knife for the rest of my life. I think I want to say the price points are, I believe this one will be around $275 to $300 depending on where you get it, and I believe the carbon fiber is probably $240, $245, something like that. But that's also when it comes with a wire clip. I don't know what I can't remember what the cost is. I'm assuming maybe $260, $265 with the clip. But yeah, both of them have very smooth action. Again, as I've said in other reviews, I love as a lefty when the contouring is exactly the same on both the show side and lock side. It really allows for, when I'm closed, to have good access to the thumb hole. Obviously I can Spidey flick it. It's super comfortable, very good action, has some good pop to it, solid detent. But just with the aesthetics, again, they have a bit of a crown spine with the jimping up top, which I love, along with that beautiful swedge. I don't see that anywhere else. I think their swedge with giant mouse just goes with the designs that they offer. Maybe it's just my eye, my certain taste for knives, but I think it's one of the more beautiful blade shapes. And it's also why I fell in love with the Grand. But again, yeah, this is just a beautiful EDC. I would highly, highly recommend this one. I really don't have any criticisms at this point. Yeah, I really don't. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I want to be honest with you guys because I know that some of you will utilize these types of reviews to make purchases or make a decision on what you want to buy. I'm telling you, I love both of these. And while I almost always would recommend the titanium version, I am sort of falling in love with how light the carbon fiber version is. It's just really smooth. Love the weight balance. But both of them are solid knives. I mean, look how beautiful that is. They did a great job with design. I really feel like this is one of their better knives of 2023. I highly recommend both of them. I will definitely edit in a bit of cutting so that you guys can actually see them at work. I try to do my best to show a close-up of the blade cutting into the wood so that you guys can get a feel for it. I hope it's helpful. And if you guys have anything you want me to review, please let me know in the comments below. But thanks again for checking these out. And I hope you guys come back. Thanks.